Hi, I'm Zach Stewart.
Laura Hotchkiss.
And I'm Daniel Kvoras. On this podcast, we improvise in character as hosts of a morning radio show in a fictional country called the Driftwood Isles.
Everything we say is made up, and none of the events, people, or places are real.
It's that simple. Now enjoy this episode of Good Morning Driftwood. And good morning, Driftwood. It's me, Dirk Wiley, my lovely co-host with the mo-host, Penelope MacGuffin.
Hello.
And Bench, who's not here. He's not here because he's stupid, and his name is Bench.
Hi. I don't like that intro, but hi.
But you accept it.
Begrudgingly.
All right, well, that is still an acceptance.
Yep.
So we're going to move forward. And Penny, you had something to tell us this morning, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to bring up again, I know we're all feeling a little uneasy about it, but Matthias is out of office today. He put in his annual leave, and this was one of the days for it. We knew it was coming.
Dreading it the whole time.
Yeah, we're kind of been left to fend for ourselves, really. But he left a list. We're sure he's fine. He's probably, I don't know, doing stuff. I don't know what
do you think
a
he's doing right
producer
now?
would do on holiday.
Sometimes I just imagine and think about like, oh, maybe he's like playing ping pong right now.
Yeah,
Maybe he's like eating a sandwich, you know, because he does like sandwiches.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I look in there, I see him like munching on a sandwich. I'm like, there he is. So I imagine he's just like doing that sort of stuff.
I don't know if I know much about him when I really think about it, you know? Like, I know, I can't think of like what the holiday would be that's just like doing producer things.
Yeah. Like recording.
I mean, he's
other
also
people
a
on
registered
holiday.
nurse.
Yeah, he's a registered nurse and shaman. But I imagine that he's, you know, when he's on his holiday, he's probably just like recording the members, or like the staff at the hotel that he's at. He's like, you know, recording their conversations.
Because I don't think we've ever asked him if he has like a family.
Or like interests.
Yeah.
You know, probably.
No,
I
I've
imagine.
never had a personal conversation with him.
Yeah, I would imagine not.
No.
Just because he seems like one of those kind of guys who's like on his own in life.
Yes. Do you know his surname? Has anyone ever?
I don't think he has one.
Can't have one.
I thought he was a producer.
It's got to be.
That sounds right.
I thought that was his
Matthias producer. That sounds right.
I thought that was his title though, like Mr. or Mrs. or Miss. It was producer.
I
like
guess
if you
it
looked at his
could be.
passport. So maybe it is like producer, Matthias producer.
It sounds right. So yeah, it's probably producer, Matthias producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Producer with that producer.
Yeah.
Anyway, he left us like a really lengthy list of to try and keep us.
Yeah, he put it on the booth. So where normally we'd be seeing him through the glass, it's just a long list that's going down the entire length of the glass.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the
Okay, you guys, I can see it. What's on it?
So number one is don't touch the settings.
Yeah,
was really
it's
specific
underlined.
about that.
It's underlined and in red.
Yeah, he
that
doesn't
one.
want us to touch any of the buttons.
And I'm gonna be honest, it makes me want to touch the
I don't
buttons.
really want to touch the settings.
If he wasn't so insistent
Look at
about it,
that.
because it sounds condescending when it's like emphasized that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you not like trust us to do it when you just write it normally?
Like, I think I know what his setting is, okay? Like, I
Yeah.
turn down the volume, turn up the volume. What else is there?
Yeah, right.
He put as well, when you order lunch, make sure you include vegetables. Don't just buy pastries again.
Which I also felt patronizing and annoying and condescending. And I did come in this morning like, oh, sweet, Matthias isn't here. Let's buy pastries.
Exactly.
And then I saw that and I'm like,
Yes.
he knows us so well.
Guess I'll buy
It's one of those
sort
people that he
stuff.
like lives so closely with us. He
Yeah.
knows us better than we know ourselves in some senses.
He put,
That's true.
if you hear a beeping noise, you need to go into the cupboard and flick the switch on the right. So that explains the beeping noise.
It doesn't say what it is though.
No.
It just says that's what to do if it happens.
When he talked us through this list, he was very clear that there were things that we didn't need to know, but also things that he didn't think we were capable of knowing.
Yeah, it's like you guys wouldn't
I
understand.
didn't think
Yeah.
we were capable of knowing.
Yeah,
like the
See, right? It's like
settings.
it's a common theme of condescension
Yeah.
here.
Like the settings, he was very much like, you guys, it's too much for you.
Like you wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
It's like I get stuff. Nice.
He mentioned something about like fuse board and like electricity, but he was just like, ugh, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's move on.
He was also talking about the wiring.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? The wiring. Yeah, there's electricity and stuff.
Yeah,
I
obviously.
get it. I understand computers, Matthias.
Yeah.
You're not that cool.
He left as well.
He is pretty cool.
He knows what he's up to.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
He also put the tea bags in the cupboard above the kettle.
Mm-hmm.
That's smart.
Helped a lot because this morning I was panicked.
Yeah.
I was just like...
You came back in here in a huff. Because you didn't come in here prior to going to get some tea. You went straight to get some tea.
Well,
and then you stormed in here like, where the hell are the tea bags? And your eyes were crazy.
Usually I go into the kitchen and there's already a cup of tea waiting for me.
Yeah.
So
Same.
Like,
and I didn't realize that was Matthias doing that until it wasn't there.
How do you even boil water?
Heat?
Must be.
I don't know where the heat
I think
comes
it's gotta
from.
be heat.
It's gotta be
Because
heat.
it's just a kettle.
Fire.
Like when you see the kettle, it's just a kettle.
Yeah.
There's no fire anywhere nearby.
Mm-hmm.
So logically, that doesn't make sense. But it does get hot. So I assume Matthias takes the kettle into some other space where he has fire of his own.
Yeah.
And heats it up with that fire and then brings the kettle and puts it into the...
He must be
into the
making a
break room.
campfire outside. Like,
Probably.
He must be.
Are there fire making instructions on the list? Because I don't see any.
No. I'm assuming that's part of the, like, you guys just wouldn't understand.
So the tea you made was just with the cold water that was already in the kettle?
It was just, it was sad cold water. And when I think about it, because I couldn't find the tea bags as well, it was just really water in a mug.
Mm. Yeah, I'm now
You
realizing
couldn't
that
find a kettle?
I'm now realizing that my beverage this morning is just coffee grounds with no water in it.
Yeah.
Why didn't you put water on it?
Well, because I always just come in there and grab my mug and then come here and drink it. So that's what I did normally. But I guess he assumed, like an idiot, that I would go in there and know how to heat the water with his fire that he keeps outside and then pour it in. I'm not going to go through all that process. You know, he prepares the coffee and the tea. I'm not going to do that myself. I just go in there, grab my mug, come in here. So I did that the same as always. And I wasn't really thinking about it. I've taken a number of sips of this, and now I realize that it's just coffee grounds in my mouth now.
Yeah.
And no.
How many
kind.
sips did it take you to realize? How many sips was it until you realized you were just drinking dry coffee grounds?
I only realized just now. So based on the number of coffee grounds that are currently in my teeth, I don't know, 4 or 5 sips. You know,
you have 1 ground per sip.
This is an estimation. Presumably, there's
Okay.
a few.
Just
grounds.
checking.
Yeah. I'm not a man of science,
No.
but that's just my best guesstimation.
No.
Yeah.
I think Matthias is off for the long weekend, so I don't think I don't think he's back till Tuesday.
Where did he go? Where does a man like that go to do whatever men like that do?
Oh, God, I don't even know. Maybe just.
I wish I was there. I bet there'd be some.
He talks
about. I bet that if I were there would be like some powders that I could find that would tell me what he.
Maybe he left some powders in his wake that you could sort of use to piece together where he might have gone. He does talk about the mountains.
There's no other way.
Sometimes Finicky Ridge. I know he's a climber of sorts. Maybe he's ventured up there.
Yeah.
Maybe he's gone down to the swamps to the south. Maybe he's rented a boat and headed off and had a nice time there. There's no one to record at sea, though, so I doubt he went there.
No, why would you? Why would you? You want to... I think he's just gone to... I would assume just another recording studio. Just another...
His vacation studio.
Yeah, vacation studio. Just
Who's he recording, though, if he isn't... And can I find them and kill them? Because there can only be one people that he records.
Wait, guys, can I ask... Are we sure that he's recording someone else? Because we are recording this, right? We are recording this, right?
I think so.
He said that he would hit record before he left yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so maybe this is what he's recording. Maybe this is what he's recording.
Well, no, he's not here. He's not here. I'm looking through the glass. He's not here. So he's not recording this, you know. But he's a producer, so he must be recording something, you know, somewhere. Because that's what he does. He's a man of the record. A man of record.
Do you think he might have... Do you think he might have... it's weird to say, outside interests?
No.
No. What?
No.
That was a stupid idea.
His interests are what we see.
Yeah.
You know.
Why
would he do anything other than what we see him do?
Why would he work as a producer as well for a radio show, which is very indoors if he was going to have outside interests? You know?
Yeah.
Are we sure that he exists when we stop looking? Because when I don't see him, I'm not sure that he's going to be there when I look again.
Okay, I think it may be
Bench.
too early for these existential crises.
Terrifying thought.
Yeah, I don't know if that's appropriate for this time in the morning.
I'm just asking questions.
That's extremely alarming, and I beg of you to never do what you just did to my mind.
You know what?
Again, we need
a break.
We need a break, and
right.
I need to think about some stuff. Bench really got to me there. All right. We'll see you on the other side. All right. Well, we are back with Good Morning Driftwood, and Bench is asking the intense, difficult questions here, and thinking about life and the world and where Matthias might be. But in terms of finding yourself. We're finding new things every day, and that's actually the story that I have for us today. We found a new island in the archipelago.
Oh,
and nobody
a new island?
Yeah, nobody noticed it before. It's just off to the southwest coast of Driftwood Isle, and it's got a lot of naturally occurring blue cheese on it. They were exploring the small island, and they found it covered in vines. What at first looked like rock formations, but it turned out that it's a substance that both looks and tastes like blue cheese.
Okay, that explains why no one was interested before.
Oh, you're not a fan.
Very particular taste.
It's specific.
Very particular, yeah.
Maybe the smell sort of warded people off from a distance.
I can understand why people were like,
they just have a smell and they're like, ooh, I don't know what's going on over there. Let's go another direction.
Give me some buffalo sauce and then I'll go back and consider it. But like just by itself,
on
no,
its
thank
own,
you.
it
Yeah.
needs combination.
Yeah,
well, they found some
it's a
other
lot.
things. They also discovered, quote, a bunch of new species of fat birds. So that's exciting.
So the birds must love the cheese.
Yeah,
I guess
probably
so.
love the cheese.
That makes sense.
The birds must. I
That
mean,
makes a lot of sense.
That makes
Yeah.
logical to me.
There is, so scientists
That
are
makes
studying
logical.
this island, the naturally occurring blue cheese, but they're having a hard time keeping away Driftwood's avid cheese fanatics, and particularly the cheese poachers who wreak havoc across Driftwood, stealing various cheeses from dairy farms, grocery stores, and private citizens. And Driftwood, of course, is renowned and celebrated for its native cheeses, and they fetch quite a high price on the international market. So they're having a hard time keeping these poachers away. What are we thinking?
It upsets me so much that like some people just can't let other people be happy. You know, like let us be happy. Why are you coming over here stealing our cheeses?
Yeah. We're one of the few
that
places
in a lot
that
of
have natively occurring cheese.
Again.
Well, I was going to say this is in most places in the world. In order to make cheese, people have to get milk from animals and ferment it, and it's a whole process. Like that is so
Gotta do all
much
this
work.
stuff.
Can you even imagine?
We're blessed. We're blessed with our naturally occurring cheeses. And
Truly
you might
are.
not like every type of cheese. Like Penelope doesn't like blue cheese.
No, not
But
a big
then
fan.
that's just not. You just don't need
avoid.
to. Don't need to go to that particular
Yeah.
island.
And Dirk, you hate cheddar. Is that right?
Indeed, I hate cheddar. I think it's basic. I think it's a boring, basic cheese. I like something a little more interesting. I like a camembert. I like a brie. I like a soft cheese. I like a cheese that you can really settle into. Because in the South, in the swamps, they have the camembert swamps and the brie swamps. It's kind of like a quicksand sort of situation. You can really just get in there and
Really,
It's almost like a hot spring, really.
Yeah.
In certain times of the year, you can go there, and it's just
it's
your skin
lovely.
looks
Yeah.
beautiful.
and bubbling up. You get a nice camembert mask.
I just got distracted thinking about a little burrata or maybe like a mozzarella, like a kind of like a wobbly number, a little
Like a little
wobbly,
jiggly-
yeah, a
little dumpling cheese.
little fun little wobble cheese.
Indeed. In the mountains, they actually have living burrata that sort of bounce
Yeah.
to and fro, and
So
they're
fun.
adorable.
So
they're really cute, and they
fun.
make little sort of cheap noises as they bounce down the hills,
I love it.
roam free.
Sometimes,
And just as a reminder to our listeners that when you're going out to buy cheese, make sure you get free range organic
Yeah.
cheese.
It is
All of those, you don't want to get, burrata that has been locked in cages without room enough to move. That's not good for them. That's not good for the environment. That's not good for anyone.
no one's winning in that situation.
Be a responsible
Absolutely no one.
cheese consumer. We want these cheeses to have a nice life.
Yeah, you want to imagine your cheese before you eat it. You know, kind of like frolicking around in a meadow with its family and being, loved and adored,
bouncing off each other and giggling like. That's what I imagine the little mozzarellas and burratas bouncing around. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
I just
I'm getting so hungry.
Place,
I
saw Penelope just go miles away, just dreaming about those little burratas bouncing around the hills.
I can't believe Matthias says we have to buy vegetables for lunch today.
Yeah,
that's stupid. I'm just imagining. You know what I miss? You know what I'm looking forward to this in the spring when we get the low moisture mozzarella shredded cheese rinds. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite time of year.
Mm-hmm.
The time for celebration.
I can't wait for that.
I love it when
I just go outside. I open my mouth and just get like a little flake of the mozzarella on my tongue.
I love it when the Parmesan starts falling from the trees like snow.
Oh. You'll think we'll have a yellow Christmas this year?
God, I hope so. It's been so long since we've had one, just to wake up and look out the window, throw back the curtains and see the fields and cottages covered in a real good helping of Parmesan.
To make Parmesan men. Some big Parmesan balls and stack them on top of each other and
give them a little
top hat.
Because I know that for people that don't live in Driftwood, you probably are like, oh, that's how we make snowmen and stuff, and you put a scarf in it. But a Parmesan man deserves class.
Mm-hmm. That's more sophisticated.
Yeah, that's why we put a top hat and cufflinks on him.
Indeed.
Sometimes just a cummerbund.
Monocle if you can find one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Real, if you can get a tuxedo, 10 out of 10 for effort. But
a lot of people rent full tuxedos to put on their farm.
Yeah. And the more traditional old world tailors of Driftwood, actually, some of them will, if you request, they'll make their own Parmesan men tuxedos.
Yeah.
Specifically designed.
That's it. Because it is a very cylindrical.
It's an heirloom. You can pass it down. It's a Driftwood staple.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Some people will take their old tuxedo into the tuxedo tailor and ask them to tailor the tux to be a tux for Parmesan men.
That's a good way of That's a nice hack to get it cheaper than getting a custom made one.
And then it's like oh, it was granddad's suit and now it's living its
Parmesan.
life.
Oh, it's kind of like the Parmesan man is your granddad now.
Yeah.
So for the kids, the grandkids, it's like when you lose a grandparent. It's like, it's okay. They're still around in the form of this Parmesan man.
I don't know if you saw, actually, it's funny you say that because there is
take a nice bite out of granddad out there.
Well, there's a movie on Netflix that came out for the festive season. I don't know if you've seen it. It's Mr. Parmesan, and it's a Parmesan man that through some magic comes to life as a hunky singleton.
That sounds fun.
Obviously,
that's such an original premise. I love that.
So good. And she's just a.
Let me guess. He has an Italian accent.
He has an Italian accent, and he's got his top hat, and he's not wearing a shirt, but he does have cufflinks on, which is very confusing. I don't understand how they're there. But
he's got a rockin' bod, though.
Rockin' bod. We're talking 6-pack. We're talking shredded. We're talking grated.
Hey, there we go.
That's what we're talking. And
that's the holiday season.
Oh my God. She is just, back in her hometown, and suddenly she's complaining about oh, I can never find the right man. Well, sometimes you're just not looking at the right cheese.
You need a little dash of Parmesan in your life.
Dash of Parmesan. So I highly recommend it. I watched it and I was
fun.
like, this is a great film. I was 10 out of 10.
Do they end up together, or does the Parmesan man melt in the spring, as often happens?
Unfortunately, he does melt, but not before he's taught them all a valuable lesson.
About love.
I will say I am looking forward. I am looking forward to soon being able to watch the trilogy of Cut the Cheese, holiday classics.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are like, these are for children. They're juvenile.
But it's
no one wants to. They're so fun.
Yeah. It's just comforting, much like a nice cheese. It's just a comforting thing to watch the Cut the Cheese trilogy.
Nothing beats it. You get a nice warm cup of queso. You just sit down, put it on your television, and then watch Hidden Figures in between each one of them, of course.
Of course, because otherwise you're not going to stick out watching a bunch of movies if you can't get a nice
of course.
pop of Hidden Figures in there. Oh,
Yeah.
lovely. Love to see it. Well, very exciting news getting this new blue cheese. So maybe we'll see an influx in blue cheese in the community as long as we can prevent poachers from getting at this new island.
I'm
curious about the fat birds as well. They sound cute too.
They sound adorable.
I'm not gonna lie.
They sound real sweet.
So I'm curious about those new species. Maybe we'll get some a trickle of new information from our lovely Driftwood scientists. And with that, we're gonna kick you to another commercial break. We'll see you on the other side. And welcome back to Good Morning Driftwood. Well, I guess it's that time. We're upset that Bench isn't here, but he's somewhere. And so I guess let's find out what's going on in whatever dumb place Bench is.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kick it over to our regular segment, Bench's Dumb Place. Over to you, Bench.
I hate that it's a regular segment so much.
Well, it could not be a regular segment. It could end whenever you return to the studio. Up to you.
I know. Okay, so here's for listeners who are not caught up. I've been gone from the studio in the last few weeks. I was caught up in a series of murders, essentially, that I had to solve. A variety of affluent and mysterious circumstances with a lot of very curious individuals.
You were lured onto a yacht under the guise of a murder mystery party that quickly became an actual murder scene, and then a bunch of other murders happened that you then needed to solve, because Bench, of course, is one of Driftwood's most prolific gentleman sleuths. And you also
thank you for saying that, Dirk.
A number of romantic partners sort of cross your paths on this journey as well. What new developments do you have for us?
I will say, just to tie up a little bit of loose ends, because last time I spoke to you guys, I was on the...
Are these loose ends murder or romantic related?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start with murder, and then we're going to move from there.
I guess, if we must.
Just because there was the whole ghost situation that we were on the ship, old Spanish warship called the Hunted, and Professor Butts McGee died, and was like, did a ghost murder him? I'm happy to say there were no ghosts involved. All of us forgot that Terry. Well, there is a logical explanation. As you guys know, Terry Wu has been just along for all of this. Who has been honestly so nice.
How's he doing? Thank goodness. I've been worried about him.
He's doing well. He's okay.
Thank God.
All of us forgot that before we got on the Haunted, we all took a bunch of Molly from Terry. So we were just tripping balls the whole time.
Nice. By the way,
so that's what that was. That was an accident, by the way. The professor just fell on a sword.
I'm sure he's got more Molly as well that he's hidden from the rest of you, because he's gonna make sure that he takes care of himself. So if you just drop my name, tell him that do it for Dirk, he might slip you another one of those. I'm sorry, did you say that Butts McGee fell on the sword? He wasn't murdered by a ghost, just fell on a sword?
Yeah, he just slipped and fell on the sword. We found a security camera, and it was footage, and you could just see him.
There was security footage on this antique ship.
Yeah.
Well,
the security footage was not antique, but it was on the antique ship.
Okay. I guess that tracks. You can put a modern camera on an old-timey thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good.
We did make it back.
Another person didn't get murdered. I mean, it's still sad that they're dead.
Yeah.
But that means at least you don't have to look for another murderer, because the two first murderers are back on the private island that you left them on. So now you don't have to worry about another one being on your yacht.
That is true. It's a huge relief whenever you realize you're not in a room with a murderer. Mm-hmm. That's always good. And we did make it back. I am back on Driftwood on the main island. But
you're back on the main island.
I am.
Okay. That begs the question: why are you not here?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're on the main island.
Well, I am not here because I took your guys' advice. I'm in a hotel room with Jacqueline Von Dad. She's not here right now.
Yes.
We took
Here we go,
Little
Bench.
time.
Finally.
This is what I'm talking about,
I cannot
buddy.
believe we have had to sit and listen to so many of Bench's sections just being about like, oh, murder, oh, bodies, oh, this. And now he buried the lead. Now we get
He
there.
buried the lead and he buried himself in some jacqueline.
Yeah.
There we go.
And also, all the 3 bodies have been buried.
Thank
Thank goodness as well.
goodness.
Was that when the lovemaking started?
Yeah.
When you finally were no longer surrounded by bodies? So she's
was
like,
as
all right,
soon-
I'm into it now.
We told you. We were like,
Honestly,
the bodies are creepy.
yeah.
The bodies are cock blocking you, my guy.
They were, as soon as we got to land and we stepped away from the bodies, we just looked deep into each other's eyes, and both of us, we are aggressively horny, and we just went at each other. It's been ravenous and extremely satisfying.
I am so happy to hear that, Bench.
Yeah.
For your sake and for ours. Because I know that when you get back into the studio, you're going to be feeling like $1,000,000.
I hope so. Here's the thing.
But
the thing with me and Jacqueline is we have a long sordid history. We've been rivals. We've been lovers.
Very up and down.
We're very good at those things. We're very good at being rivals and one-upping each other. She's also a gentleman's sleuth.
I imagine the one-upsmanship probably leads to some fun times romantically.
It does. Here's the thing. It's very good when there's the tension and the sex is so good. But then whenever we try to like make it work, it's just like the spark is immediately gone is the thing. So we're kind of like, this is going to be this for a while, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Maybe this time it'll be different.
Maybe this time.
We're going to try. We're going to try.
Sorry.
What's that?
Sorry, Penny. What?
So sorry.
And what was that?
Broke into song there.
Sorry, when he said maybe this time it'll be different, it really took me to Eliza Minnelli place there. Like it really
Eliza Minnelli place?
Yeah, just
like California?
Like it really just took me to like Eliza
like
Minnelli.
New York City, like Broadway, where
Yeah.
Liza Minnelli did many shows.
Yeah, you just gotta immediately get like just Liza Minnelli took over for a moment.
And sang from within you.
Maybe this time.
Could you give us another rendition of it?
You can't just force Liza Minnelli to come out. You gotta
Just has to
It
happen.
just has to happen. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe someone else will say something that really spurs on another moment.
All right. Well, let's hope so. But
Yeah.
so Bench, you have a hard time
right.
sustaining your connection and turning this from a passionate affair to an actual relationship. So do you think there is a future between you and Jacqueline?
Tell us.
Yeah, there is. It's not a good one or a happy one, but it's certainly a future.
Just a very rocky will they, won't they kind of future? That doesn't sound optimistic. And also, if it's not a happy one, then should there be a future?
It's a good point.
Well,
It's a good point.
It's
for him.
inevitable. It's going to be a very sexual and good and also bad.
So you're just sort of locked in this cycle with this woman. I'm going to be honest.
It feels like a spiral that there's no running away from.
Feels like a spiral.
Hey, there we go. There's
Sorry,
some more
I'm
Liza.
so sorry.
Is that
She
a song? Is that a Liza Minnelli
That's
song?
no.
Is that a song? Is that Eliza?
No. Sorry, Liza's sometimes just inspired.
She just comes through you.
She just Liza gets inspiration everywhere.
Wow. Well, I'll be
But
honest.
I mean, here's the thing. I was
rooting for you initially, but this sounds like a toxic situation that
Yeah,
I don't know if you should
if
be
we
in.
appreciate
Look,
what's going on.
I'm not gonna not see her or be with her. I mean, what good is sitting all alone in your room? You know, you got to put yourself out there and you got to try.
All right. Well, I can't fault you for that.
No, that's logic.
So get out. Yeah, get
I
out
was
there.
expecting Liza to come up for that one,
You
but that's
can't
fine.
force Liza. Like we've discussed this, you can't force Liza. Okay.
Indeed.
She's offer only. She is offer only.
She just
Liza's
comes when she comes.
Offer only. She cannot be controlled.
All right. Well,
That's fair.
I can only encourage you, Bench, to hydrate up and enjoy this while it lasts, because it sounds like at some point you will turn on each other, and we can only hope that you both survive it, considering how close you guys
I
are
hope so.
to so many
Even though
programs.
not knowing that we're definitely going to turn on each other, and also that either of us might die does make the sets much better. It makes it really like risky, and there's stakes. I feel alive.
Okay, I was really encouraging the sexy talk before, but now it's starting to make me uncomfortable, Bench. So maybe like cool it on that a little bit. But I hope things work out for you eventually, and you find someone who doesn't terrify you or potentially might murder you at some point. As I would hope for all
we'll
of us.
see.
Yeah,
I have
that's
a
all
type.
we can dream
What can I
for.
say?
We can all hope that one day we'll find a lover who won't one day kill us.
Mm-hmm.
And on that lovely note, gonna kick it to our first extended commercial break. Good Morning Driftwood is brought to you by pontoon boats. Want a boat that feels more like a raft? Get a pontoon boat. Do you like boats but not the fast kind? Get a pontoon boat. It's like a life jacket you can stand on. Who needs the elitist, high and mighty luxury of an actual boat? You're a real person with a real sense of humility and shame, and your maritime lifestyle should reflect that. So get a boat that's basically a couch drilled onto a couple plastic balloons. Get a pontoon boat. Pontoon boats. We thank you for your sponsorship. For Good Morning Driftwood, we'll see you soon. Good Morning Driftwood is executive produced and hosted by Zach Stewart, Laura Hotchkiss, and Daniel Kvoras. Engineered and produced by Zach Stewart. Music by Daniel Kvoras.